Hello, I'm calling you from Buffalo with an important announcement. Hi, I'm Nick. The sun is directly in my face, and this is 10 Minutes with Nick. I normally haven't been recording on Fridays recently. I've just been busy, things have been going on. But I saw something today that it jumped into my mind, and I felt that I needed to say something. So, scrolling through YouTube, as one does, you go through the shorts, you're drinking coffee, you're going through these shorts, most of them are nonsense, and all of a sudden I come across one where an actual talking head said something to the effect of Christian nationalists don't believe that our rights come from Congress, but come from God. Okay, let's pick apart that statement. I may be screaming into the void with this, but I need you to hear me. I need you to hear me that that statement is the most revisionist piece of history that anybody could ever come across. Ever. 100%. That's revisionist history to the max. If somebody says to you, our rights come from Congress, that is 100% incorrect. 100% incorrect. Wrong. No. No. The Constitution and the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, and the subsequent amendments, are codifications of pre-existing rights. And that was the point. Those codifications of pre-existing rights were restrictions on the government. The government does not grant rights to the people. The people had rights already. As human beings, as the first line of the Declaration of Independence says, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, and there's certain inalienable rights endowed upon them by their creator. I'm paraphrasing, you get my point. The Bill of Rights is meant to enshrine and protect the pre-existing rights of people, not the other way around. It's not Congress granting rights to the people. Think about that case if it is Congress granting rights to the people. Congress is a benevolent king reaching down to people and saying, I give you these rights. That is not the case. That is not the case now. That has never been the case. Think about what that means, though. If Congress can give rights, Congress can take rights away. Now, granted, no right is completely free, meaning that there are restrictions on certain rights. But those restrictions are less restrictions on the right and more grants to Congress to enforce different rules. We are giving Congress permission, not the other way around. And you have to remember that the US system is specifically set up so that all laws, all regulations are essentially the people giving permission to the government to act. Now, we do it through representatives, meaning we don't do it through a direct democracy. We do it through a representative republic system. But you have to remember that that is the way this system works. We, the people, grant power to the government, not the other way around. We, the people, hold all the power. That's the point of our system. It doesn't matter that we operate in a representative republic. It doesn't matter that there's different checks, balances, and different things like that. It doesn't matter that only 30% of people turn out to vote. The system of the United States is designed such that we, the citizens, hold the power over our government. And the government cannot act without us granting it authority. The first 10 amendments are there essentially as, without us passing any laws, these are the rights that are key and inalienable and you must respect. That is us telling Congress that, hey, just so you're aware, here's the updated list of rights. And we did that back in 1780 something. The Constitution was not the original uniting document of the United States. It was actually the Confederation, the Confederate States of America first, and then later became the United States of America when the Constitution was introduced after the Confederate States of America basically failed. The United States of America and that Constitution, that was our governing document. It remains our governing document. And that was not Congress saying, let us grant the people, the little people of the world, rights. No, that was essentially the people by representatives saying, here, Congress, here are the set of rules you must operate by. You may do certain things, but you may not infringe on the right to speech, the right to free press, the right to bear arms, although that one is a little bit more, it's a little bit controversial. You may not quarter soldiers in our homes. You may not unreasonably search and seize us. You may not get us to incriminate ourselves, no matter what. We are protected automatically for certain things. But don't let anybody trick you into saying that Congress gives you rights. No, you have rights. The rights are here. Congress has to respect them. It does not matter. Congress and the government specifically, meaning any arm of the government, has to respect those rights. The executive has to respect your rights. The legislative, the courts, the police, they have to respect the rights that you have because you have those rights regardless. It does not matter what Congress says. It does not matter what a bunch of talking heads say. Those rights were not granted to you by the government. You have them by virtue of being born as a human being. Essentially, you come fully loaded with these rights. The amendments are a codification and a mandate upon Congress to respect the right, not a codification and grant of rights from Congress. Mandate to, not grant from. It's going to come up in the election cycle. I can already hear the rumblings. I may be screaming into the void, but if I can at least get the people who listen to my podcast to get clear on this, it might make a difference. You tell Congress what to do, not the other way around. Now, granted, you do give Congress authority to pass laws that end up being restrictions. But that's part of the social contract. That's part of living in a pluralistic and modern society. We understand that. And it's how we regulate ourselves. It's how we police ourselves. It's how we maintain law and order. But you have to remember that that is a mandate from the people to Congress. And the amendments to the Constitution are mandates from the people that Congress must respect the rights that you have, the inalienable rights that you have. The Constitution cannot be read without the Declaration of Independence right next to it. There's a reason that we still enshrine those two documents. Now, the Constitution is, and I have many people who are going to disagree with me on this, the Constitution is a living, breathing document because we interpret it every single day. And as long as we're interpreting it, it's going to be a living, breathing document. But certain things are not going to change. And certain things can't change. Just my timer. Demand better from the talking heads of the world. Demand they do any research whatsoever. And demand they remember what kind of country we live in. The kind of country where we actually say to the powers that be, no, 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 you do what we tell you. That was the whole point. I don't know if anybody remembers that whole July 4th, 1776 thing, but that was the whole point. We got sick of the king saying to us, you have to do this. No, instead, we decided that the system would work better if we said to the powers that be, no, you have to do this. This is how we want society to run. I am out of time. Hopefully I got my point across. This is a very important one, and I really want you to think about this. Remember, your rights are a mandate to Congress for respect, not a grant from Congress that they might respect. They must respect your rights, and it is because that is a restriction upon them, not a grant from them. Keep that in mind this upcoming election cycle, and maybe think about voting for a third-party candidate. I'm Nick. This is 10 Minutes with Nick. Have a great day.